And welcome back to the Brand's World Merry Christmas special. And just like a year ago, we have returned Jalen Sandvick to the Brand's World Merry Christmas special to play what has now become a tradition on this recap of the year in sports. Our favorite game here on Brandon's World, Fair or Foul, aka True or False, stealing the Major League Baseball terms. Jalen, how's it going, my man?
What's up? Merry Christmas to everybody, all the Brandon's World fans, Brandon yourself. Um, as we're recording this, we're kind of far out from Christmas, but it's all right. Merry Christmas to everybody. Um, you guys love this. I love doing this. I've told Brandon in private that I literally have pages upon pages and sometimes I come on here and I spitball them, so you never know what you're gonna get from me.
And,
Um,
and of course, in the summer, we did buy, sell, or hold, which is a similar but different version of this. And we do it centered around specific sports, where Jalen will give me a topic and I choose whether to buy that stock, sell that stock, or hold that stock. The Merry Christmas special Bridge World, I love this so much because we can cover current, we can cover the future, we can cover the past, the whole year, we can cover different sports, we can jump from the NFL to Major League Baseball or wrestling to the NBA, back to the NFL. We can go wherever Jalen feels like he wants to take these questions. So,
and I have ADHD, so we're gonna go a lot of different places.
without further ado, Jalen, let's start this edition this year, the 2025 Merry Christmas special, Fair or Foul.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first topic of the day is a very, 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 very brand new topic. Exactly 1 week from today, my good friend will be in DC to see the GOAT, the never seen 17. And this is how we're going to start this. This John Cena's farewell tour will be bigger than LeBron's farewell tour.
Okay, so some of my answers for these questions are going to spoil, I'm assuming, some of the topics that may come up later in the show because you guys just heard before this segment, I did my top 10 sports stories of the year. After this segment, I'm going to do the Slammy Awards. I'm going to wrap up the show with doing the 2026 predictions in sports. And one of the things I said, and Jalen, this is spoiler for you because you haven't seen this yet, but actually my number one sports story of the entire year was John Cena's retirement tour. And so for me, I am going to say this is fair. And the reason why I say it's fair is because, as I talked about in an earlier edition of Brandon's World a couple weeks ago, I may be in the minority here. I do not think LeBron is going to have a retirement tour. I think LeBron is going to quietly retire. I thought it was going to be at the end of last year. I think it's going to be at the end of this year. But I don't. A lot of people think LeBron wants a spotlight. He wants a retirement tour. He wants all that. I think the only thing he may announce is this will be his final game in Rocket Arena in Cleveland. I think that may be the only game ahead of time you may hear him announce something. Besides that, I don't think you're going to hear anything. I think he will disappear because I think once he retires, he will immediately become in partnership and agreement with the NBA once the NBA expands to own a team in Las Vegas.
I sure hope so. I can't stand him. um, you know my beef. All right, so
Hey,
you're
listen, LeBron is at a weird last couple of years in the media. I cannot disagree with you. I do think he is mad at the Lakers for basically making this Lucas team now and not including him at all. I think you can clearly see it. He's only averaging 10 points a game. At this time of the recording, he's hurt again. Like I said it, Tom Brady was second to last year in Tampa, the game he lost against the Rams. He could have went out on top. He decided to come back one more year. He looked old. LeBron could have retired at the end of last year, arguably on top, 25 points a game, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, whatever stats it was. He's only averaging 10 points a game. Father Time has finally caught up to number 23 in Los Angeles.
Well, did you see his streak is broken too?
And you know what? It's ironic about that because he made the right basketball play, which he's always done, and he is clearly not in attack mode. I think LeBron is resting on his morals because, again, I think he knows this is Luka's team. He's no longer in the Lakers' plans. He's playing this for the joy of the game, and that's basically it.
All right. Let's talk little NFL, little football here,
Okay.
because this one to me might be my hatred. Okay, and I think you know who we're going to talk about here because you quote unquote whipped our ass for 4 quarters, but won the game off a petty pass interference call. Let's start there. The Philadelphia Eagles will not repeat this year.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I want to say foul. I think there is a chance we repeat, though. I think the more likelihood is fair. I'm not going to spoil what I will say later on in the Brandon's Room Merry Christmas special about my prediction of 2026 in sports as a whole. That has nothing to do with the NFL, but it has something to do with champions in sports. But I think this is more fair than foul. And, you'll hear in my interview with Austin Arnold that I already did. That's going to come up later on in this special as well. A lot of people are mad at Kevin Patullo, obviously. A lot of people are mad at Jalen Hurts, obviously. A lot of people are mad at Nick Sirianni. Philadelphia's expectations are so high. My takeaway is we make the playoffs. We win a playoff game or two. Sure, it's not a Super Bowl repeat, but you know what? Not every team can repeat. There's a reason why the Patriots and the Chiefs are the only two teams in the past 20-something years to do so.
Also, you're welcome for beating the Cowboys for you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Of course, this is recorded right after that game took place on Thursday night.
Great game, by the way. Great game.
Tremendous game.
All right, we're gonna talk. We're jumping every sport here. We're hitting baseball because this one has been a topic at my family parties, family dinners, for a long time. Ever since this man decided to be an absolute monster. Shohei Ohtani will go down as the greatest baseball player of all time.
He already is the greatest baseball player of all
time. Oh, okay.
That is fair. And by the way, it's not even close. Who in this day and age was alive to see Babe Ruth? Was anybody? I don't. That's a serious question. I don't know. Shohei Ohtani is easily better than Babe Ruth because no one will duplicate what he did. And I think that what you saw in the 2025 NLCS Game 4 when he hit the 3 home runs and pitched 7 shutout innings against the Brewers in the NLCS, nobody can do that in the history of mankind. I am done doubting Shohei Ohtani. For the longest time, I tried to say there couldn't be a best player in Major League Baseball. Well, until this guy decides that he can, hit 3 home runs and pitch 7 shutout innings. I do worry a little bit about his arm being able to pitch and hit and, doing that consistently year in and year out. We've already seen the injuries, but no one has even come close to this guy.
He's a freak. He's like the Wemby of baseball. Like
yes, that. In a way, though, I would argue Wemby does things at 7'5" that no one else can do, but Wemby plays offense and defense in a sport that requires it. This sport in baseball does not require you to pitch and hit.
Yeah, that is true, I guess, but that's my best other sport. Well, that's my best other sport comparison because
the only other comparison you can make is Travis Hunter, and clearly it has not worked out.
Yeah, that's for another day. I knew it. Everybody knew it. Okay. Now this one's about football. We're bouncing around because I wrote this one last night while my eyes were half shut and I was about to go to sleep, and I forgot that I wanted to talk to you about this. because looky who, the dumpster fire in Cleveland on the lake, reactivated Mr. Deshaun Watson. Number 4 will see the field again as a Cleveland Browns starter.
So this may or may not happen by the time we hit the air, because as I predict, if Shedeur Sanders loses at the time of this recording this weekend to the Tennessee Titans, I think you will see Deshaun Watson in Chicago. I think absolutely fair. Deshaun Watson will see the field. If it is at home against Buffalo or Pittsburgh, I recommend that every Browns fan in America boycott the game, make it a COVID game. Nobody enter that stadium.
You know that's not going to happen.
This is disgusting. It's a joke. Now, again, I will say, I initially, when the trade first happened, I supported the move. I am not a hypocrite on it. I supported moving on from Baker Mayfield. I supported getting Deshaun Watson.
We all did. We all did.
And as I advocated, I don't know if I've asked you this, Jalen, or not. So I'm going to ask you a question real quick.
Oh, flipping rolls. Let's go. I got the iced coffee in me. I'm ready.
Is it possible? I'm just going to throw this out there. Is it possible Deshaun Watson is not a broken quarterback? And actually, the guy that broke Deshaun Watson is Kevin Stefanski.
Absolutely. 1,010%. Thank you. Because I've been saying the exact same thing for years. When he went down and popped his Achilles, I said, we'll see him again. And everyone says, but he can't make a throw. Oh, okay. Well, how about the stuff he did in Houston? Granted, he didn't sit for a year and a half, but what has Kevin Stefanski done with quarterbacks? Ran them into the ground. Ran Baker Mayfield out of Cleveland. Oh my God. Give Deshaun Watson a new offensive scheme to air the ball out, and I guarantee he still got it. That doesn't go away. Look at him chirping to Shedeur, telling Shedeur, yo, you can be good in this league. Escape the pocket and make the throw on the run. That's what you do. That's what I did. That's what we do. It just doesn't disappear. It's like Michael Jordan shooting that free throw last month. That never goes away. That stuff never goes away. It doesn't. It's just Kevin Stefanski.
So, bottom line is, I do think whether or not we see him while this recording airs or at the end of the season, I think we do see Deshaun at the end of the year.
I'm about to get bashed for this. I hope so. Make him play. Make him play.
I mean, I don't, because I want to see Shedeur, because, you know, I'm a big
I do too. I do too. I do too. My wrist is always up around this house, okay? I love Shedeur. But if you're making stupid amount of money to sit on your ass and do nothing, at least get on the field and fucking play.
That's fair.
All right. Now, we're going to continue talking about this dumpster fire, all right? Because, listen. Kevin's got to go. Barry's got to go. So my question to you is, Mike Tomlin is also in the hot seat. So Mike Tomlin will be the Browns coach next year.
Foul. I think it's 100%. I don't think there's any way possible he would go to Cleveland. I do think it's on the door that he does leave Pittsburgh. There's a situation where they could finish under 500, which I think is likely, depending on the result of this Ravens game this coming weekend. But I don't think there's any way he'd go to Cleveland. If he's going to leave, he's going to go to a place with a quarterback. And I'm going to throw one scenario out there, Jalen, that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. That I think personally, Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Barry have both been told they are not getting fired. They are safe to start tanking. I think Barry, with this draft class, even if they missed on quarterback, the other players have been kids. I think he's been given another year, and I think they want to tie Barry and Stefanski together, and I think they believe the roster isn't good enough, and they're not going to blame Stefanski. My one thought would be, if you can upgrade the receiving core, because that's the biggest weakness on the Browns roster. If you don't believe Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel's the guy, and they're going to get rid of Deshaun Watson, no matter what me or you think of him. To me, the solution would be upgrade the receiving core in the draft and go get like Mac Jones for a year and see if Mac Jones, who has ran the Shanahan offense, if he's going to be the next Sam Darnold or the next Daniel Jones or the next Baker Mayfield and resurrect yourself with Stefanski, because the one season Stefanski had success here was when they had some decent receivers and Joe Flacco was the quarterback.
Oh, man. I can't stomach Stefanski. I can't stomach the way he talks to Mary Kay. It bothers me.
Here's my thing, though. You have to win games, right? I mean, they are, they finished with 4 wins this year. They'll have 7 wins in the last 2 years. So if he stays, they're going to make a move at quarterback because they have to win games at some point. You have to give this fan base something to cheer for, no matter who the coach or GM is.
Do you understand that if we fired Stefanski right after we hopped off air, everyone in Cleveland would be cheering?
I don't believe that's the case. I don't think everybody would be cheering.
Majority.
I honestly believe that.
Majority.
Because here's the thing. I'm indifferent about Stefanski. I don't think he's a great coach, but I also think the league thinks he's a great coach and he would get a job in 1 second, and with a better roster, I think he could win. That's my problem.
I'm over it. I'm over the regime. I'm over it.
It's fair. I mean, you guys have been through hell. I mean, thank God me and you both have better teams to root for.
Speak for yourself, pal, because both of my teams in my lifetime have gone 0-16.
Yeah, but you at least have a team right now that is a competent organization.
Yeah, that is true. And we have the best running back in the league in Jameer Gibbs. Okay.
I agree, by the way.
Yeah. Just gotta throw that out there. Putting belt to ass against that. Yeah. All right, we're gonna talk a bit better of a team, but they're a bit shaky right now. We're gonna talk Cleveland Cavaliers. We're gonna talk. Okay. So I know you heard the rumors that one Greek freak might want out of Milwaukee.
No chance the Cavs get him. But
hold on. That's not my question here. Okay. Listen to this package and tell me if it's fair. If you would do it, foul. If absolutely not.
Okay. Put my head down.
Garland, Allen, Dean Wade for Giannis, and a couple picks for Giannis.
Is this from the Cavs' perspective or from Milwaukee's perspective? Because it's
from Milwaukee's, because we would obviously do that in a heartbeat. From Milwaukee's perspective.
For Milwaukee, for me, it's foul. I want more. I would want. I'll be honest with you. I would want a young star. That's why I think San Antonio is the team he traded with. I want Stephon Castle or Dylan Harper, and I want picks.
Yeah, but you also could throw Mobley in there. You could.
Here's my hot take. I would not do Giannis for Mobley.
I don't know.
Mobley is not even 25 years old yet, I believe, and I think he's going to become one of the top 10 players in the NBA here in the next few seasons.
Well, as long as he can shoot free throws, I don't really care what he can do, but right now he can't shoot a freaking free throw.
I'll be honest, I have probably watched less Cavs basketball this year than I have in the past 5 years. So,
yeah. You're saving yourself. I mean,
I just don't think that they care about the regular season. Naquan Tomlin's playing more minutes than Jared Allen. They've already gotten fined twice for not playing Darius Garland in national televised games because they don't care.
Jared Allen needs to go. Okay. Anyway. Stop giving me on these tangents that. Oh gosh. All right. Fair enough.
You already traded your boy Isaac Okoro, so.
Oh yeah, my boy. Yeah. For those who know, longtime viewers and listeners of the show, me and my guy Isaac have some beef. We do.
Probably went on his most epic rant on this show when he talked about Isaac Okoro.
I did. It's a legendary moment. It still sits in my heart. It's legendary. All right, we're gonna talk. we're gonna go a little back to wrestling here because I've fell in love with professional wrestling again. Okay, I know I tell you this like every month, but I fell in love with professional wrestling, not just WWE, but professional wrestling as a whole. And I'm gonna ask you this because I want to know where you sit on this. There is too much wrestling per week for the average viewer.
Oh, 1,000% fair. It's not even close, especially now that TNA has a new TV deal. And by the way, I watched some of TNA Thursday night this past week on AXX TV. It's not that bad of a wrestling program. Let me put it to you that
It
way.
definitely is not. It definitely I will tell you it is not.
So yes, I mean you have Raw Monday on Netflix, you have NXT on Tuesday, you have Dynamite on Wednesday, you have TNA on Thursday, you have SmackDown on Friday with maybe like a TNA pay-per-view. You have AEW Collision on Saturday, along with all the PLE. Sometimes you have an AEW PLE on Sunday. There's New Japan Pro Wrestling out there, which I know a lot of people do like that are real professional wrestling fans. I think you got to pick and choose your battles. We are both picking what we like and what we don't like, and all these companies have never been more different from each other. It's been a very weird year in wrestling as a whole, and I hope it gets back on track in 2026.
There is nothing I love more than making my girlfriend sit down and watch professional wrestling with me. I because she looks at me like I am the biggest crackhead, like I am going nuts over John Cena retirement. I told her, if you want to hang out next Saturday, you have to come to my house because I'm not leaving. I'm sorry. She asked me to go to dinner. Folks, you got to pick your priorities, all right? And yes, I've been with that lovely woman for 10 years. Yes, I've
10 years? Wait a minute. You're
yeah.
only 20 years old. Wait a minute.
Listen. I met this woman at Youth Challenge when I was 9 years old, and this woman has been a part of my life ever since then.
How long have you guys been dating?
Oh man,
Jalen,
I mean,
you know this.
I do know this, but listen, when we were kids, like that's a whole different thing because like dating as kids is different than dating as adults. Right now,
when did you guys say, okay, we are officially boyfriend and girlfriend?
The actual
It's
date
been
of
like
it
two,
is
3 years, right?
yes, like something like that. The actual date of it is like February 22nd. I know, I'm a bad boyfriend. I get it. Okay, I'm not good
what
with dates.
year? What year?
Oh man, hold
22,
on.
23?
23 maybe.
So it's over 2 years. You're about
Over 2 years.
going on 3.
Over 2 years, but this woman has been like around me for the last
Well,
10
she's
years.
been a good friend for 8 of those years. That's how you describe
That's
it.
not true. Hold on. That's not true because we were doing couple things, just not as a couple because we were kids.
Okay,
so, yeah.
That's fair or foul question.
We're getting off topic here.
We are not going into Jalen's love life on my show. What are we doing here?
I love it. All right, we're gonna talk more wrestling because man, I'm in love with it right now. I'm in love with it, and we gotta talk about what happens when our hero leaves. Where do you go from here? Who is the next guy to carry the next 10 years of programming? And I have the answer for you, and I want to know if you think it's fair or foul. The next guy that'll carry this company on his shoulders will be, drumroll please, Braun Breaker.
I'll put another name out there.
Okay.
Because I think there's two. Braun is one, and the other one is a man who for years couldn't even speak on a microphone because he was getting booed out of the building.
Okay.
And now he is getting dirtied up Dirty, dirty
Dirty Dom.
Dom. Dirty.
Dirty Dom. Dirty,
And,
dirty Dom.
and I think those are the two guys. I think that by WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia, they will either be world champions or will be in world championship matches.
I told you after Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, saddest fall off in wrestling, by the way. I told you Braun Breaker. Okay, I see that smile on your face. I told you Braun Breaker was going to win the Royal Rumble. I told you that.
So I'll spoil this now because it's not going to be in the Brands World Christmas special. I talk about it on Order with Austin Arnold. Jalen, have I told you this? Can I tell you my WrestleMania 42 pitches real quick?
Oh, goodness. Enlighten me, B. I'm ready.
Okay, night one.
Yep.
The main event. I'm talking for both nights. Night one. The Second City Saint, the world heavyweight champion, the best in the world, CM Punk, takes on the Elimination Chamber match winner, the leader of the Vision, the man who we just talked about, Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Breaker will win the World Heavyweight Championship, and night one will go off the air with Braun Breaker being the new face of Monday Night Raw. Let's get to night two. In the main event, the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, will
Brandon's
face
favorite wrestler, by the way. Brandon's favorite wrestler.
The Royal Rumble winner. It's going to be QB1 versus OTC1. Cody Roman 3 one more time. Now, here's what I want to add to this. During this match, at some point, you hear this music. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, the final boss returns for the first time since the Elimination Chamber. And he comes down to the ring, and the referee is knocked out. And everybody's thinking, oh my God, The Rock is here to help Roman Reigns get his title back for revenge on Cody Rhodes. Bam, a rock bottom to Roman Reigns. He gives his watch to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes beats the hell out of Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes officially turns heel, becomes The Rock's corporate champion. Cody Rhodes pins Roman Reigns, and it sets up WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia between Roman Reigns and The Rock. Now, on the other side, the night after WrestleMania, CM Punk wants his revenge for Braun Breaker for losing the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk is getting pounded by the Vision. And for the first time since he got turned on by the Vision, Burn It Down hits the scene. Seth Rollins makes his return as a babyface. And you have Seth Rollins and CM Punk, who are still don't like each other, still want to kill each other. But now they are going to be forced to work together because at Backlash, Seth Rollins and CM Punk will team against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, with whoever pins Breaker or Reed becoming the World Heavyweight Champion, creating a dynamic between Rollins and Punk where they screw each other out of the championship. And also at Backlash, the main event will feature Cody Rhodes, his first championship defense as a heel, against the Viper, Randy Orton, who has waited for years. He's been staring at that championship for years, and Cody never gave him a title shot. Now Orton tries to get revenge on Cody for doing the unthinkable and turning his back on the fans. There's my 6-month wrestling pitch. You're welcome. I know I just won an Oscar.
That was awesome. All of that would have me so invested right now. I 100% wish. Man, Braun Breaker, man, I can't get enough of him. That's my guy. I think he's funny as hell. Like when him and LA Knight and CM Punk were in the ring, and Braun Breaker's out of the ring. He's like, "You both are 40. He's 40. What are you gonna do to me?" I was dying.
By the way, what if? Let me give you this other scenario.
Oh.
What if on the January 6th episode of Raw, when Breaker faces Punk for the world title, they just put the title on Breaker and he beats Punk in 18 seconds, the way Goldberg would beat somebody? And then you could have Punk maybe face Breaker for the title at WrestleMania and have Punk be climbing to try to get the title back. That's another scenario.
Ooh. Okay. Now we're getting into a completely different topic. But are you ready for my next question, sir?
Yes.
Because I've got some heat for you, and we're gonna talk a little bit of football because we love football. That's what we do.
I'm probably going to go a little more rapid fire here because we have about 30 to 40 minutes left, but I want to get more questions in. I know I'm taking a long time to explain my answers on these questions.
But that's what makes this as beautiful as it is, the explanation behind it. Now, as of this recording, Ohio State has a big game against Indiana. I don't know if you heard about it, Brandon, but it's the Big Ten championship. You know what I'm talking about?
I predict it won't even be a close game. I'll be honest.
Oh, you think we're beating the piss out of them, huh?
I think it's like the Michigan game. I think it's like 27-10.
Okay. Now, you might have just answered my question. Ohio State will not only win the Big Ten title, but will go on and steamroll through the playoffs and win a back-to-back national championship.
So again, might be a little bit of spoiler alert for later in the show, but I absolutely believe yes. This is, I will tell you, Jalen, I think this is the best college football team I've ever seen. I didn't think I would say that after I watched the 2019 LSU team with Joe Burrow and Randy Moss's son and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Ohio State is the two best receivers I probably have ever seen, and they just got another 5-star wide receiver who just came there. And Julian Sayin is 10 times better than Will Howard. And
whoa!
Because Will Howard is not an NFL quarterback. Julian Sayin maybe
shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Will Howard stinks. Yeah, I mean, Ohio State is better than everybody else, and their defense is easily the best defense in the country. I don't see how this team loses a game. The only team I can see them maybe beating them is Georgia. They have an excellent defensive performance.
Oh, I don't like that disrespect on Will Howard. Although I am insane for Jules. I am insane for Julian saying, okay, listen.
You guys are very biased towards Will Howard, and I don't understand why.
What are you talking? Okay. Because we got a rapid fire. We got a rapid fire, Brandon. You don't want to do this.
Okay.
You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this with me right now. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it.
I'd be a tight window throw he made at Ohio State. That's all I'll say.
What about against Notre Dame to close off the game? What about that?
Nope.
What about how about this? Oregon in the Rose Bowl?
All wide open guys.
And that's Will's fault?
I'm not saying it's Will's fault. I'm saying he has built a car. And when he goes to the NFL and will probably play some point for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you will see him.
I hope he lights it up. I hope he lights it up in Pittsburgh, and I will laugh in your face.
All right, next question.
Goodness gracious, Brandon. Okay, now we're going to talk a little more basketball because your guy, the guy you told me to watch out for almost 5 years ago now, Victor Wembanyama, will go down as a top 5 player of all time.
I haven't done a lot of fouls today, and I'm not starting here. Yes. And Jay, I'm going to give you one more. You ready? There is a chance Victor Wembanyama goes down as the greatest basketball player that ever walked God's green earth.
Wow.
I think that there is a chance. Now, you Jordan sickos are going to argue 6-6 for your graves. But if Victor Wembanyama has a Tim Duncan-esque career where he has 5 titles at 7'5" and doing the things that he does in a day and age where all the NBA does is shoot threes and the lane is wide open and Victor Wembanyama is clearly unstoppable. I mean, we thought we'd never seen anything like Nikola Jokic, and we haven't. Wemby towers over him.
That is true. He's also built like a French fry, so I don't understand the dynamic of him.
So I think this kid, and the West is very tough. You know, it's going to be hard. But if you're picking me for a guy to be the next face of the NBA who could dominate the NBA for the next decade, even though the sport isn't built for it anymore, tell you this, it's not that guy in Oklahoma City. It's this guy.
That's for sure. That guy in Oklahoma City, I have some beef with. Okay.
Me and my debate partner over at Championship Rings argue this term known as free throw merchant almost every single week, and I'll leave it at that.
He is a free throw merchant.
Thank you very much, Jalen Sandvick. See that, Josh Hunger? You hear that?
Oh, but he gets to the line, and James Harden was doing the same thing. James Harden did it. No, James Harden was just good at getting buckets. He was averaging 40, but he was also okay. Never mind. Sorry, Josh. Love you.
Next question.
Okay. I had this debate with somebody over the holiday. He's a Jets fan. And as you know.
Oh boy. Poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Oh yeah. It's rough. Okay. We had this debate. He said to me that in all, it is harder to be a Jets fan than a Lions fan. Do you agree?
Ooh.
Do you disagree?
Ooh, okay. We're talking all time, right?
All time, even 0-16 for the Lions, the butt fumble for the Jets. Name like what is more pain to go through? Being a Jets fan? Is it more painful to be a Jets fan than a Lions fan?
So, well, let me just understand the question real quick. If it's fair, it's more painful to be a Jets fan. If it's foul, it's more painful to be
okay. Yes.
I'm going to say it's foul for one reason only. The Jets have technically won a Super Bowl, and the Lions have not.
Well, that's what I said. And then they said, but you had the greatest running back of all time. And now, I said, well,
here's where I will say this. I think the Lions have had better players historically, and at least more players that are fun to watch. Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson. Obviously, in this day and age, I mean, I can't think of, outside of Joe Namath, who's the second best Jet of all time.
That's what we were discussing.
Right? So I get that argument, but if you're looking at it all-time fandom, technically the Jets have had better success than the Lions.
Thank you, sir. Now someone understands my pain. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, this one has to do with your Philadelphia Eagles once again. Once again, we're talking them birds. The Birds should move on from Nick Sirianni.
Foul.
Stop it.
Nick Sirianni is the second greatest winning coach in the history of the NFL.
Whoa.
All he does is win. And by the way, I keep telling you this, and you don't want to believe me. Nick Sirianni is the same exact coach as your guy, Dan Campbell.
He's not. He's not even close.
Yes, he is. They are the exact same coach. They're both reckless on fourth down. They both have weird press conferences. They both make irrational, stupid decisions sometimes in games, yet players absolutely love them. And both of them, by the way, are also dependent on who their offensive and defensive coordinators are.
Oh, Brad. What about, first of all, winning coach, the second most winning?
What's Andy Reid? He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He has a better winning percentage than Andy Reid.
What? Okay,
He
but Andy Reid just what?
He
Andy Reid has how
has the second most wins throughout every game he's coached in his career at this point. That amount of games. He has the second biggest most wins.
One of those wins you can take away because of bum ass pass interference
It
call.
wasn't going to matter because your offense couldn't move the ball the whole game.
It didn't matter. You get off the field. Yeah, that should have been our ball with a minute to go, down 7.
Yeah, well, Jay, well, guess what? Then you guys turn around and lose on Thanksgiving to the Packers, a game that you told me you were going to smash the Packers. Well, guess what?
Just like, what happened? What happened? You were up 3 scores against Dallas. What happened?
We were, and we choked it away. Was it shit? What I'm saying, Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell are the same freaking coach. You don't want to fire Dan Campbell, but if I told you,
no, I don't want to fire Dan Campbell because Dan Campbell has been the best thing to happen to Detroit since Calvin Johnson.
The best thing to happen to Philadelphia since freaking the Liberty Bell was there.
That's not even true though, because you won a Super Bowl without him.
Yeah, and guess what? After that, the whole team fell apart. We've been to 2 Super Bowls with Sirianni, and there's a real chance we could get to 3 in 4 years.
Oh, Sirianni. Remember when his own fan base was chanting fire Sirianni?
Because that's what Philadelphia does. If Dan Campbell was in Philly, they'd be chanting fire Dan.
Well, they did boo Santa Claus. So
they were chanting fire Doug Peterson in the middle of the Super Bowl parade.
You Philly fans are deranged. You guys booed Santa Claus.
Deranged idiots. We don't. And I'm not part of it. You know me. I'm not part of this crazy Philadelphia mob.
But you are. You are the heart of the Philadelphia mob, and
no,
you know
I'm
it.
not, because I don't have these crazy expectations that we have to win the Super Bowl every single year or fire everybody.
Okay. I'll let it slide there. I'll let you slide there. All right. Now we're gonna talk more football because I want to know who's gonna win the MVP, and I have someone in my head that I think is going to win the MVP, or at least should be in the race. I think Josh Allen's gonna win the MVP.
Oh, I completely disagree. I don't even think he's in the conversation. I think Josh Allen has had a bad year. And I think there's 3 MVP candidates. I think it's Matthew Stafford. I think it is Drake May. And I think it is Dak Prescott. And after Thursday night's game, I think we're down to Matthew Stafford and Drake May. And
well, if you want me to pick for them, I think from those 2, it's going to be Drake May.
And I agree with you. And I think that as long as this point at the Patriots get the number 1 seed, Drake May is going to win MVP. Whether that's going to translate to the playoffs yet, I don't know, but that's where we're at.
I'd like to say shout out Matthew Stafford. You know I love you.
And you have been proven right on Matthew Stafford. That's the one thing I'll give you. I never thought Matthew Stafford was as good as you said he was, and clearly he is.
I told you. Since I've been 12 years, since I met you when I was 8 years old by that tree friend, I told you. Thank you. Finally, Stafford gets his flowers. All right. We're gonna let's scroll here. Ooh, let's scroll deep into my list here. Let's see what I got.
Okay.
Ooh, this is a good one. This is a really good one.
You say that on every question.
No, but this one's good because
you sound like Trump. This one's so good. It's the greatest question.
Quite frankly, this might be the greatest question in Fairville history. I don't know, though. I don't know how I can answer it. All right. But this one's good because this one's about Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair. I think he transitioned this 4. And I think because of Steph, the NBA has gotten worse aesthetically. I'm just being honest. I think Steph
You're not wrong.
I think Steph Curry somewhat ruined the NBA. But in terms of accomplishments and overall skill and talent, sure, Magic Johnson, 6'9", he was a great player. He couldn't shoot like Steph. Steph Curry influenced more kids than LeBron. And I would make an argument he's up there with Jordan in terms of influencing the game of basketball. And that's why I think he's the greatest point guard of all time.
That's fair. I can live with that.
I mean, you think about what Steph Curry has done. He's taken Jalen, is it fair to say the half-court shot and almost turned it into a normal shot?
Logo.
Okay.
There,
By the way, it's ridiculous, and it's my problem with today's NBA. And I know you're going to disagree with me, but I think it's true. Every team plays the same style. Everybody shoots way too many threes, and especially here in November and December, nobody is playing defense, and it's a complete joke.
I agree. I love basketball, but I actually agree with you. I mean, Boston yesterday shot over 60%. Like,
From three?
yes. Look that up. Check that stat. I don't know how if I'm accurate there, but I know they shot high from three last night.
Okay, so they beat the Lakers 126. So yeah, like 126, like the new normal of 100, pretty much, which bothers me. 3-pointers, they were 24 or 45, so 53%.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And by
That
the way,
is.
that's the new norm. And I think I told you this during the March Madness tournament this year. When you watch college basketball, which again, the only thing that matters in college basketball now is March Madness. So it's the only month of the year we watch college basketball. But when you watch that and then you turn on the NBA game the same night, it's two completely different sports we're watching.
I won't watch the NBA during March Madness.
And that's coming from a guy who loves basketball.
I refuse. Hear me out now. Hear me out. Because all day, from noon to what, 10 o'clock on the West Coast?
Well, some of us have jobs, so we can't do that. But
hey, so do I, pal. All right, I just bring my laptop everywhere with me. Okay. Not all the way through, but
it's like noon Eastern or like 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Right. So I'm watching close game after close game after. Not all of them will be close, but you're watching close game, big foul calls, and then you turn on the Thunder at Lakers, and it's brick, three, Luka step back, brick, Luka step back, Shea foul.
It's a terrible. I've said it. I love the NBA playoffs, though I do think they're drawn out way too long. I think baseball buds have proven that. But the NBA playoffs are a different product than the NBA regular season, and I don't care what anybody says. The NBA viewership may be up 90% because they got a big deal with NBC and Amazon Prime. Whoop-de-doo. I think the NBA, for me personally, baseball has excited me more the last couple of years than the NBA. The NBA has become a distant third for me.
Oh, dude, the World Series was awesome. The World Series was great.
I thought it was I said this earlier in the show. I thought it was the best World Series I have ever seen.
Nope, that one stands 2016.
I think this one had 2 extra inning games. The Game 7 drama going to 11 innings. The comeback, the talent on both sides was better than that 2016 World Series. You had the two countries going at it. I thought it meant more. The ratings showed it, and I thought baseball needed it. I thought it was a fantastic World Series.
I did too. I 100% did too. How much time we got?
We got about 12-ish minutes or so.
So we got about 3 or 4 more. All right. Let's talk. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk a little bit of guards, because I also had this conversation with somebody over the holiday. I said, at this rate, first to win a major sports championship in Cleveland before the Browns and before the Cavs won again. At this rate, this current day,
will be the Guardians.
Yep.
I 100% agree with you. I think it's fair. I think it could come as early as next year or in 2 years. At this point, I don't trust the Cavs at all. And I really, last year for me kind of said like, okay, I don't give a crap about the Cavs anymore. That was our opportunity and they blew it and they're going to have to prove it to me. This Guardians team, I think I've told you this. I didn't care if they were a wild card team and they only won 88 games, whatever it was going to be. That last month of baseball was so much fun.
Dude.
Playing guards ball the way they did and getting into the playoffs. And yes, they lost to Detroit and we couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. We probably could have beat Detroit. But you know what? This team plays hard. They never quit on Vote. Vote one manager of the year for the second straight year, deservedly so, because we thought this team was dead 3 times. And they never gave up. And the one thing I love about the Guardians is this: they don't just go for the home run ball. They don't just go for strikeouts. They play good defense. They play contact. They run the bases. They steal bases. They hit singles. They hit doubles. They make diversity, which again, I think every sports need. We see football teams that throw a lot or run on a shotgun or run under center. We see baseball teams bunt and hit, and you have power guys, you have finesse guys, you have speed guys. Where in the NBA, it's all guys that just do this: stand at the 3-point line and clap for the ball.
I will tell you, I was in the building for Game 3, or in the ballpark. I've never felt a buzz like that because we were so dead in the water, and everybody showing up for the guards. It was
And
incredible.
by the way, everybody hates Dolan. I'm not going to get into that, but I will say tickets for the most part were very affordable this year. I went to 3 games this year, which will cost me less than 1 ticket to a single Cavs game this whole year.
Well, I would say ticket to a Browns game too, but I paid $7 to watch us lose to Baltimore. So, yeah, I mean, I'm on the train with everybody else. I hate them. I hate them too. But yes, it is a very affordable, like very fair price.
And I got to give Manfred credit here. I thought the pace of play rules, I thought the pitch clock was going to be an absolute disaster and ruin baseball. No, it's actually made baseball the most fun it's been in a decade, easily.
Oh, we talked about that. Remember when the rule changes came? But me and you sat on this show.
Oh, I'm a traditionalist, and I don't like change, and you know this about me. Change for me is very hard.
That is true.
Some change is good. If I think the change is going to be good, I support it 100%. If I don't think it's going to be good, I support it 0%. I'm a very yes or no in that way when it comes to change.
Yeah, that was man, the guards ball. I miss it. I miss guards ball.
I miss, as we're recording right now, I'm looking out at the blanket of just white, what I call bullshit on the sidewalks, and praying that in 6 months we're gonna have 90-degree days.
Please.
All right, Jay, we've probably got time for like 2 or 3 more.
All right, we're going back to professional wrestling here because I watch a lot of my boy Chris Van Vliet. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his clips. I saw he just did an interview with Bryan Danielson. There's going to be one with John Cena coming out next week.
He did. Now here it actually plays off that. Because they brought up a certain Bella twin, a certain Brie Bella. Okay. Do we think we see Brie Bella in the Royal Rumble? Because I think we do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird question because it doesn't mean much, but sure, fair.
Yeah, I just put that down this morning because I was watching the podcast and I wanted to know your thoughts.
By the way, the #1 wrestling podcast in the world, I'm going to give this man a shout out. Shout out to the great Jim Cornette.
Oh, you love Jim Cornette. Oh, I know you do.
Oh, believe me, Jim Cornette is the #1 YouTube channel I've watched on YouTube this year is Jim Cornette.
Oh, shocker. You guys in your traditional wrestling and your bullshit. Yeah.
No, in our let's say dislike for some modern professional wrestling tactics.
Yeah. Where's speaking of, how's your boy Uncle Dave doing? Haven't heard from him in a while.
You know, did I not tell you that Dave blocked me?
Did he?
He did.
Can we get Brandon's World Dave Meltzer merch, please?
Well, actually, believe it or not, I think I'm smarter than I am because I'm a journalist.
Dave Meltzer hasn't done he hasn't done anything relevant in like 20 years.
Jalen, you're gonna get me fired up about that stupid Dave Meltzer. Pretty much at this point, it's Tony Khan's assistant,
Uncle Dave.
Yeah. You
Uncle
told me John
Dave.
Morgan in the middle of the show. That was funny. That was
That
funny.
was awesome. I loved it. That was awesome. That was like my favorite time in professional wrestling. Um,
All right,
all
we got
right,
like two more because we're not going to make this go forever.
we're gonna talk more football for you. Now, I want to say that my Lions are gonna go to the Super Bowl and we're gonna do this, but I know it's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm real here. But do you think there's a world where the Lions make the championship game?
Ooh, you know, last year I would have said fair.
Don't break my heart, Brandon.
Jalen,
Oh,
I, well, eh, eh, you know, there is one path.
okay, I want to hear
I'm going to
this.
say fair. There
Okay.
is one path. I think the path is in the first round, they play the Bears in Chicago. And in the second round, they go to LA and they play the Rams. I think that's the path because I think the Bears, I think Caleb Williams in his first playoff start will probably not play well, even if they're at home. They would play each other in week 18, so it would be a little bit familiarity playing the same team twice in 2 weeks. I would say even in the cold, that's advantage Lions. And I think going to LA, because I don't think you would have the opportunity to play Tampa in the second round, or I would say them. I think going to LA would be the one place, assuming you're not going to have home field advantage, in a dome where Jared Goff could be comfortable. That to me would be the path.
Well, that was my thing is why can I ask you this? Why would it be advantage Lions if you play Chicago in the freezing cold, knowing that Jared Goff is a Cali
Because
boy?
it's playoff experience and it's Ben Johnson's first game as a head coach and it's Caleb's first playoff game.
Okay. Okay. You know, I like the way you talk about my Lions. I really appreciate it, buddy. I like that. It makes me happy.
So I don't think it's realistic, but I do think there's a shot because I think if you're going to win on the road, multiple playoff games, one of them has to be in warm weather or inside. And the only way I see that happening is if you go to LA.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you this because this is pretty much what the Lions or what the Eagles went through is they had a shaky couple of years and then they won the Super Bowl. So, will the Lions win the Super Bowl in 2 years?
I think it could be fair, but I'm going to put a condition on it.
Okay.
You have to get the right offensive coordinator. I think that Dan Campbell calling plays is unsustainable. I don't think Dan is a great play caller. I don't think that's what he does best. And I think Ben Johnson was clearly the secret sauce. And I told you this going into the offseason. I said, Jalen, I hate to tell you this, but I think you might have missed your window because I think last year was your best shot to win. But I thought that about Philly when we lost Shane Steichen, and obviously we turned it around and won it 2 years later. You have to replace John Morton. You have to get an experienced OC. I'm talking like, I don't know, even like a Brian Callahan,
Mm.
like somebody that has called plays that either could be a head coach or a former head coach or has gotten fired or, somebody who you can hand the baton over to and say, this guy, this is your offense. Let Dan be Dan. I think Calvin Shepard's done a good job on the defense side, but it has to be somebody outside the organization. The biggest mistake the Lions and Eagles both made this offseason, promoting from within. It almost never works.
Okay. Okay. I like
All
it.
right. For the last question, I want you to make me think. So whether it's like a future question, a past, whatever, I want to have like a big picture, I guess, question.
Okay. Okay. I don't have many of those written, but I'm sure I can think of one, especially because um right now it would have to be a wrestling question because right now that's the hottest thing going for me is professional wrestling. So, let's talk Vince McMahon. Okay, you ready? let's talk that evil man that we all thought was gonna die in the chair.
Okay. After that, I have one question for you.
Okay.
Go
Uh-oh.
ahead.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Without Vince McMahon, there would be no John Cena. There would be no Stone Cold. There would be no Rock. There would be no professional, or there would be no sports entertainment.
Without Vince McMahon
There wouldn't be wrestling.
in 1992, if he was convicted of a steroid trial,
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
would have
we'll
died.
spin that. If Vince is convicted of the steroid trial,
Yes.
wrestling is still in the same spot that it is today.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That's foul. If he is convicted of that, Jalen, wrestling dies right there. I know WCW had some traction at the time. That was even before the Monday Night Wars. Wrestling is never looked at the same again. So thank you, Hulk Hogan, for lying on the stand, because we all know he did.
Yeah. Thanks, Hogan. Bret Hart, you're a bitch. Okay.
What do you think about that, though?
Vince McMahon to me is a supervillain. He's a real life supervillain. He doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything except for himself, except for how do I make Vince McMahon the biggest name and how do I make wrestling the biggest thing on the planet. So without Vince McMahon, I don't think wrestling completely dies, but I think it's still considered like, oh, if you like wrestling, you're a loser, and
It's definitely not considered a sport the way it is today.
It's not mainstream. You don't have Travis Scott. You don't have guys like that. You don't have Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe, his whole career. You know who Tony is? He's a comedian. He does Kill Tony.
Yep.
That is a wrestling show to a T.
Also, I would argue Vince's biggest strength was not as a booker, it was as a promoter. And I actually think it's the opposite of Tony in AEW, where Tony, he's not the best booker in the world. By God, that guy can talk a lot of shit out of his mouth. He's not a great promoter, but he tries to think he is. Vince is actually the best promoter. And that's why people have called Tony, I've heard this at AEW, he's called a Vince Jr.
Oh yeah. He definitely has the McMahon in him, but not like.
But let me say this: when Vince would do a press conference, which was rare, he would give you some BS answers, but there'd be some truth in it. I don't think Tony has answered one direct question he's been asked in 6 years.
I do think Vince McMahon is the biggest idiot for one reason. When Shane wanted to buy the UFC, and Vince McMahon said, and I quote, if you want to buy out the UFC, take this knife and stab me in the heart, because not as long as I'm alive will that happen. Could you imagine if he bought?
Yeah. No, you're right. Our world would be completely different today.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now, obviously, wrestling wouldn't be the phenomenon, but it would still.
I think it would be, and TKO wouldn't be a thing, and I think that UFC would be the one that actually would have went down because there would be no Dana White.
That's true. There'd be no Rogan. There'd be no Dana White.
It'd be under WWE's umbrella. All right, I got one fair or foul question for you that's not wrestling related because I want to know your take on
it. Okay.
So, at the top of the show today, one of my top storylines for 2025 in sports was I thought the NBA All-Star Weekend /game is completely dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in the next few years, I know NBC now has the contract, that the NBA All-Star Game and weekend will lump it all together? Fair or foul, it will be completely dead in the next 5 years.
Like we won't even have an All-Star weekend, or just
Either we won't have one or it will be completely revamped because it will be dead. They will at least skip a year to try to like reinvigorate it. It will get low at some point.
I say foul.
Okay.
No, I say fair. I'll go fair here. Because
I mean, I'm at the point where I don't even know if this year I'll be watching it. I watched what about last year? I got so bored I turned it off.
What, you don't like Mac McClung, man?
I think it is a joke that a G Leaguer is an All-Star weekend. I think it's wrong. It is called All-Star Weekend. We are supposed to celebrate the greatest players in our sport. Not
Okay. Hold on.
Some guy that can't dunk a basketball in a real game, but
yes, he can. He just dropped 40.
Well, listen, no one watched the G League except for you. You know what Max McClung should do?
What?
He should go on TikTok and go to a courtyard and make people pay him to dunk. That should be his professional career.
Stop it. Leave Mac alone. Have you seen that man's high school mixtape?
And I don't care because he can't play in the NBA.
Man, you don't appreciate the culture of Mac,
I root for greatness. I don't root for.
I root for greatness. I watch WWE. I root for greatness.
It's why I don't watch NXT. I need to know if you can swim with the sharks on the main roster.
Get this, NXT for 10 years was way better than WWE.
I don't waste my
way
time
better.
with developmental, because that's what it is. It's developmental, and I don't waste my time with it.
Okay, wait. So Finn Balor, Shinsuke,
back in the day, they were all developmental, and by the way, they haven't done that well on the main roster either.
Exactly, because Vince McMahon doesn't know what talent is.
Well, Triple H doesn't know how to book him either at this point, because Shinsuke Nakamura is completely dead and probably should be released. Finn Balor's been in the Judgment Day for 4 years. He doesn't even know what he's doing.
Finn Balor got unlucky. He was going to be the guy, and he broke his shoulder. That's not...
And was never looked at the same again by Vince. What a story that is. That's like the biggest what if in wrestling. One of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. And what if Daniel Bryan never broke his neck? And what if Edge never broke his neck? And
yeah. By the way, I'll throw this one out there to end our show. I know this is going to air after the John Cena retirement match, Shaywin. Do you think there's any shot that Edge shows up at Saturday Night's main event?
Oh, I want it so bad. I don't want it to be Gunther. I think this is the...
And here's the thing. I got to admit something to you. I have been Googling. I have been Chat GPT. I have been quadding. I have been searching the interwebs, trying to figure out Edge's real AEW contract status, and I can't find it.
Because he's not going to tell you.
The number one thing I've read is his contract is expired, but nobody knows if Tony Khan had an injury time onto it or not, so we don't know if he's under contract or not.
Here's what I say. Here's the one hill that this could happen. John Cena comes out. He's running in the ring for a while, Gunther, nowhere to be found.
That's what I kind of think. I pitch the MFTs attack Gunther because Solo lost in the second round semifinal match, and you have an opponent that needs to be named, and Edge's music hits.
Do you understand what would happen to that building?
There's nothing. By the way, there's nothing against Gunther. Me and you love Gunther. It's just
we do.
We wanted this match at WrestleMania. If it would have happened there, we would have had no problem. It's a dream match. And if Gunther retires Cena, I'll have no problem with it either. It's just the fact that we need Cena versus Edge.
One more time. One more. And if you guys watched our top 10 matches, Edge was on there quite a bit. quite a bit during discussion. So
Yes.
come on, just please, 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 please. I'm
Hit
begging
my
you.
music. That's what you sound like. You sound like Jey Uso. Please, please, hit my music.
But
All right.
you hate Jey Uso. You hate him.
I do not hate Jey Uso. I think he is turning into a 5-year-old gimmick, though, instead of what Yeating used to mean, which was fun. Now, at this point, it's gotten over to stale. That's my opinion.
Okay, yeah, that's a good take. All right.
But with that being said, we got to wrap it up here on this segment of the Brands World Merry Christmas special. It's always fun to bring Jalen back for another edition of Fair or Foul. Jalen, as always, you are right after our 2025 recap of the top stories, and now we head into the Slammy Awards for 2025 in WWE. Who is my male superstar of the year, my female superstar of the year, the OMG moment of the year, which I think everybody can probably figure out what that is.
Heel turn.
Who is the breakout star of the year? Who was the rivalry of the year, the PLE of the year, and more? All that is coming up right now.